So I remember growing up in India, and I was a preteen girl, feeling all the hormonal changes and all the funny feelings one gets. And I was shipped off to my sister's house, who was married. We were 6 in the family, large family. And my parents, of course, always wanted to get rid of us because it gives them some relief. And so I remember them shipping me off to her and my brother. So we went there for summer vacation. And I was, I'm sure they were not excited to see us being there with them because they were newly married. And what do newly married people do? They want privacy and, and get it on and have some fun and be lustful without people interfering and not have these rugrats. So anyway, my bedroom was the closest to them, and I couldn't quite get it because I wasn't there. And I didn't know anything about birds and bees because in India you don't discuss birds and bees. If you ask about birds and bees, they'll send you to the farm and check it out. So I could hear like all these noises all night, like creaking and sighing, and should I say an occasional snort. It was just all the time, just noise, noise, noise. And I just thought, they're having a really bad night. I don't know what's going on. And so I would get really curious, but somewhere within me, it told me there was something not quite kosher going on there. I could tell from the sounds and the sighing and the heaving and the occasional scream. So I didn't know what was going on. So anyway, I decided to investigate and see what's happening in that room. So I could not actually, they locked the doors very tightly, as they did lock their refrigerator because my brother was there and he was always greedy and eating. So in India you have locks on the refrigerator, at least those days. The hungry hordes and everything, save your food. But anyway, so I sneaked into their room when they were off to the market or someplace, and I squirreled around a little bit, and I found this stash of, now I know they were porno magazines. At that time, I didn't know what it was. I mean, I knew naked people, see a lot of them in India, but I just, found that, and I found stashed a book, and it's a Kama Sutra. And I knew, being from India, I know what Kama is, it's lust and sex and romance all together. And so I sneaked that book and a magazine, ran back, scurried back to my room, and then I hid under the bed with a flashlight. And so I could see, but it was very disappointing because I expected this titillation. I was all excited thinking about, what I was going to find, and my body was like on fire. But then I see these pictures and these weird contortionist pictures, and I can't figure out who's what, where, and what's going where and what's coming out and what's going in. It just was too confusing. And I'm not very good at spatial things anyway, so I can't get that. So I started, I said, let me read the text. And so I started reading the text. Instead of titillation, it was bewilderment. Bloated ox, open lotus, closed leaf, yawning cow. So there was all these synonyms, and I had no clue. And apparently later on, when I grew up, I found out that it was, all these descriptions of how all these sexual positions, which, and I guess they use cows and ox and things because that's what people would understand. Anyway, and I'm sure my parents read that, having had 6 kids, and because we had like 1 year between each of us, and it just went on. I could tell you, it would be like a War and Peace book, my chapters in this whole story. But it was pretty exciting for me, and that kind of set off a whole trend where I was always in search of what is this thing, what is this, what is this lusty thing, and what is this so exciting, and what caused all these feelings. And trust me, I've had a lot of fun with that. And it didn't stop, and then I came to America, and then I discovered, I always had this impression that America is full of like instant coffee, instant this, everything's quick, fast, people, blah, 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 go, 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 go. And then I go to Kmart and Walmart because that's where all the Indians shop, it's bargains. Everything's like, we're always like bazaar hopping, shopping. And I see all these women in onesies, curlers in their hair, flannel pajamas shopping. And I said, oh, so I can be slothful too. I can just roll out in my sari and just go shopping. Thank you.